Hello, I'm Daniel Shaughnessy, and today on Community Creates Downtown Success, we get the privilege of talking with Guilded Grayland. Right after this, we'll be back with Angela Rowland. Charlotte Barnett has insured regional business with commercial policies for over 40 years. If you want to get the best commercial insurance coverage while working with a commercial insurance expert, call Charlotte's Ford Insurance Agency now for a quote. Great prices sell cars, and Castricke Auto Mart truly understands that principle. Straightforward pricing with no gimmicks. Located on the corner of Harrison and Jefferson for over 40 years, shop at the lot or online. Castricke Auto Mart, they're good people. Every detail tells a story, every sparkle a memory waiting to be made. At L's Jewelry, timeless craftsmanship meets modern elegance, designed for life's most precious moments. L's Jewelry is Shawnee's friendly jeweler. Welcome back to Community Success. That's what happens when you're live. Community Creates Downtown Success, and I get to have with me today Angela Rowland from Guilded Grayland. Angela, you guys had a vision. It was families coming together. Tell us a little bit about the vision of Guilded Grayland.
Yeah, it was really born out of the idea of we wanted a place for our kids to play. We had a son at the time that was getting into Pokemon, and we couldn't find a place for him to play. And we'd been talking about opening a board game store for years. So we said, let's do it. And the goal all along has been to build community through board games, trading card games, anything you can play on the tabletop. We want it there. So that's been really the goal, is to help people connect without the use of, digital devices and things like that. That's been really the vision from the beginning.
Well, and you guys have done a great job throughout. People, I'm always amazed when I come in there at the number of people there gathered in your big room. Sometimes it's hard to find, though. How exactly do people find Guilded Grayland?
That's a good question. Our address is technically 222 East Main, which for those local to Shawnee is the old Marquis Furniture Building, but we own access to the entire building. And unfortunately, we're still waiting for code updates such as fire suppression to allow us to use our Main Street entrances. So right now we're operating out of our Philadelphia Street entrance. So it's directly across from the horse at the library entrance on Philadelphia. You can find us right there.
That's a great look at your entrance right there for people to be able to find you. And let's talk a little bit about that, because sometimes it's hard for people to get businesses started downtown. You guys have been on a journey. Has it been 4 years now of that huge space? I mean, that's got to be a bit overwhelming.
Yes, it really has been. It's definitely had, more challenges than we anticipated, but it is a lot of space. And so it's been worth the effort. It's been really neat to be able to, get one small space ready, and then we'll hopefully be able to move into the next phases soon. But yeah, we've mostly just been making do with what we've got and opening whatever we can when we can.
Well, parking is easy right there, even if you have to go overflow parking over to the library. So we look forward to talking to you more about the nuts and bolts about Guilded Grayland right here on Community Creates Downtown Success. And we'll be back with Angela Rowland right after this.
Gordon Cooper Technology Center has trade classes for all ages. These programs are not just for our high school students, they are for all ages, and you have the opportunity to get further educated within our community and pick up a trade skill today at Gordon Cooper Technology Center.
Downtown Auto Body works for you with your insurance company to reduce your hassles. Downtown Auto Body is on your side to get your vehicle repaired as it should be, back at top condition. Trust Downtown Auto Body, Main Street, Shawnee. At Hardesty Deli, the food is great and the people are even better. A genuinely local atmosphere. The Oliver family has more than 70 years as butchers with Hardesty. If you're in Shawnee, you gotta stop at Hardesty Deli. We're talking with Angela Rowland of Guilded Grayland, and right across from the library, easy to find. And really, it's interesting because you're kind of a library.
We are. Yeah, we've got an in-store library of currently over 400 titles. We actually still have a lot more that are waiting to go into the library. We just need more space for it. And so, yeah, people can come in, and a day pass is $5 a person. Kids 12 and under are free. And so with a day pass, you can come in and play unlimited games from our library all day long as we're open. And then if you're interested, you can also rent games and take them home. So we have like a 1-week rental period. And lots of people have loved that as an opportunity to try games that they're not sure if they want to buy yet, or just something you don't have space for. So it's been a really neat opportunity for our customers to play games that they haven't tried.
Well, in me as a grandfather, and my grandkids are coming to the age of board games. I'm not familiar. It's, there's a gap there between games. Like I see Mad on the top shelf. Those are like my kind of games, right. Monopoly. But you've got all kinds of games to help people kind of learn what the new things are that are going on.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got every skill level. So we generally call them like light, medium, and heavy as far as the amount of strategy required. We've got some games like the Unlock that's there that are really great because they're a one-time experience anyway. It's kind of like an escape room type thing. And so once you've tried it, you don't necessarily need to do it again. So that's a great game to rent. And then we've got some awesome 2-player games because I know for us, before our kids were old enough to really play games, it was kind of hard to find things that we could play on our own. And so we've got a lot of those too. It's really neat.
And so like the library, you can sit and just play the games with your family right there, or you can take them away. But you've got a lot of amenities, right there in the store. How does it work when you come into Guilded Grayland?
Well, if you're just coming in to play something that you brought with you, you can just sit down and play. Again, if you want to use the library and have the access to those games, it's just $5 a person. We do have memberships as well. So if you were going to come in regularly and don't want to pay $5 every time, you can get a membership for that. And then we've also got a lot of other events. So if you're coming in for a special event for a trading card game or a miniatures game, then we'll have entry fees for those and you can participate in those.
So you actually have a membership structure like that, like I would pay monthly and I could just pop in and play games, or then would I be able to use the library then as well?
Yep, absolutely. And we've got varying structures up to even a family membership so that all the members of the family can participate. And some of the higher levels also include discounts on snacks and drinks.
So the Guilded Grayland, right across from the library, you mentioned something that I know is really big now, like card games. There's Pokemon and Magic and Flesh and Blood, whatever that actually is. But people really like that. When we come back, Angela, do you mind? We will share some about the card games and the different happenings that you have every week at Guilded Grayland.
Absolutely.
I can't stop coughing. Surely there's something I can take to make this better.
Go ask Eric.
Wait, I just got new medicine and I don't know if I'm allowed to have caffeine with it.
Go ask Eric.
We have contracts with many employers and we do drug testing, alcohol testing, pre-employment screenings. We also do workers' comp, so if someone gets injured on the job and needs stitches, staples, break a bone, then we can absolutely see them and they cannot go to the emergency room.
Connecting our community with convenient, compassionate care.
Yes.
That's what you guys do.
It is what we do.
We are with Angela Rowland of Guilded Grayland. How about that hair? What about that hair in that commercial?
That was great. That was great.
Guilded Grayland, right across from the library. But something that you talk about quite a bit, and I think that Philip, your husband, actually participates, is you've got a lot of not board games. You do have a lot of board games, but you have a lot of trading games going on with a lot of people coming in and playing every week. Like, doesn't Pokemon meet like 4 times a week at your place? Talk a little bit about that realm.
Yeah. Pokemon is only once a week right now. It's just Saturday mornings, but Magic happens about 4 times a week. And then on Saturdays, honestly, we have about 5 trading card games that have regular events every Saturday. We've got Pokemon, Flesh and Blood. The newest one is Riftbound. And then we've also got Disney Lorcana and Yu-Gi-Oh! On Saturdays. So there's a lot happening on Saturdays in particular, but we've got other events throughout the week as well. Our Magic, we've got pre-releases for all of these card games that happen throughout the month, and Magics are usually on Mondays, and so it's in varying formats of Magic depending on the day of the week. So we've got a lot going on.
So educate me a little bit as somebody who doesn't understand that, but maybe, like, again, for my grandkids on a Saturday morning, you say you have different, are they like trading cards, but they're playing games with them? What, like when I was a kid, we'd get together and trade baseball cards.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing with Pokemon, honestly, is that a lot of kids collect it and don't know how to play. But the really cool thing about our community is we have kids that come in that have never played before, and everyone's really open to teaching. You can have parents and kids playing together. Our Pokemon at 9 o'clock on Saturday mornings is both adults and kids. We've got a different bracket for each age level. And so it's really a great way for families to connect. We've had whole families that come in and just play Pokemon on Saturday mornings, and it's their weekly routine. It's been really neat to see.
So when we talk about trading cards, though, I know it's a big deal, but I'm still a little confused. Is it a game that you play then with the cards on a board, or is it a game that you play like a deck of cards? How do you play?
Yeah, you have a deck of cards. It depends on the game, but all of them have a deck involved. Typically, you build your own deck, or you can buy one that's pre-constructed, and then you have your play area in front of you. You don't have to have a board. A lot of times, there's a play mat or something, and then your opponent will have their play area, and you're just generally, again, depending on the game, but playing cards that kind of battle with the cards that your opponent has played, and then it's just the best player wins.
So my grandchild needs to have quite a bit of cards before we come in to play the games. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. But again, there are pre-constructed decks that can be bought without having to invest in a whole wide array of cards. Yeah.
So like we could come in and just buy a deck to use that day, and then that be our starter deck.
Yeah, usually. Mm-hmm.
Cool. And what are the 4 games going on Saturday?
So we have Pokemon at 9 a.m. Flesh and Blood is at 10:30 a.m. We've got Disney Lorcana at 1 p.m., Riftbound at 4 p.m., and Yu-Gi-Oh! At 6 p.m.
And those can all be found on your calendar at guildedgrayland.com. You also have events that happen. How is that different than like your Saturday morning or your Magic 4 times a week when we talk about events?
Well, we've got varying kinds of events. So some of the trading card games have bigger like regional events or championships that will pull in people from outside of Shawnee, outside of Oklahoma. But we've also got tabletop miniatures games such as Warhammer and Star Wars Legion that will, again, pull in a lot of people, and it'll be a big tournament style. And then we also have more casual events. We've had murder mysteries before. We have tavern nights, which is just having cool tavern food and dressing up in medieval wear and things like that. So we do have a wide array of options.
That needs its whole a segment by itself. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about some of those things, Angela. Okay. You're watching Community Creates Downtown Success, because that's what we believe. Fred's Tire and Battery is locally legendary, known for their friendly family welcomes and just as friendly exits. Fred's can service your vehicle needs. Make Fred's Tire and Battery your first stop when your vehicle needs service.
The bees and their keeper can communicate. The beekeeper can hear when they're in distress and helps in turn. This partnership of mutual encouragement is a reflection of the harmony and balance we strive for at St. Gregory's Abbey.
Play It Again Sports, where we buy your gently used sporting goods for cash.
We've dedicated 2006 as the year of the student athlete,
where each month we're going to give out an award. The award doesn't go just to the greatest athlete or to the greatest student. It goes to the greatest person.
Angela, we are back, and in your shop, we've seen, I mean, you've got a big space right up front that everybody gets to play in, but then you
Yeah.
also have special event spaces that are kind of secluded. And you were just mentioning some of the things. Let's talk a little bit about those spaces, and in particular, what kind of person or groups or things are you encouraging to come and visit those event spaces?
So again, we have our own events in these spaces sometimes, but it is also available for rent for, we've had large groups come that just want to have a big like corporate game night. That's really great for the bigger event space. It can hold about 30 people. We've had big birthday parties there, family reunions, things like that can take place in that bigger space. And then we also have a smaller party room for those who just want a smaller birthday party or just a smaller gathering in general, because both of those rooms are available for rent. And so it just depends on the size of your group. We also have birthday party packages available. Those are listed on our website. So if that's something someone's interested in, we have that.
So I can bring like my grandchildren and their classmates and rent out the space, and then would they have access to the board games and be able to play the different games and things?
Yes, both the room rentals include full library access. So people are free to come and go and choose games from the library and take them back to their event. Sometimes we've also had some groups ask us to pre-pull some games that we think they might be interested in and then just have them available in their space. So we're open to either option.
And what about food? And can we bring our food? What do we do for food? You guys offer food?
Yeah, outside food and drink is always welcome. We do have some snacks and drinks available. Again, our party packages, some of them include like cupcakes and ice cream, but definitely you can bring your own if you prefer.
Well, I noticed pizza. I don't know about the cupcakes and ice cream, but
That's
I
true.
noticed some pizza on that list.
We
You mentioned something, two things I want to talk about, because I know my older boys, like they'll go places because they're having a competition of some sort, or, and you had mentioned some of that for your event spaces. There are statewide groups or regional groups that come and use these that are like leagues. I mean, I name it leagues. It might not be leagues, in game
Right.
talk, but
I mean, we've had a little bit of both. So again, we have a Warhammer group that comes once a month. They have open play various times throughout the month, but once a month they'll have a whole Saturday event where they come and they set up like 8 tables and they'll play. Don't ask me much about that game. I don't know a whole lot, but I do know it involves a giant game and a giant map and miniatures moving across it. And then the Star Wars Legion is basically the same thing, but for Star Wars. And then we have, again, all the trading card games generally have their big championships at some point or pre-release events. And then we've also got some actual board game tournaments coming up. We've got some, as we're talking, we have some this week, but we'll also have some throughout the summer and hopefully more throughout the year as well. So games like Azul and Seven Wonders. I don't know if you've heard of that. Okay. Splendor, things like that. But the great thing about them is they're also a fun way to learn because it's not a high pressure environment. So if you've never played the game before, you can still come and play in the tournament and have a good time.
Well, and talking about having a good time, years ago, I thought there was like a murder mystery dinner or something going on at your place. And then you just mentioned like dressing up in Renaissance clothing or, different things. Is that what you use this space to do, those kind of things? And talk a little bit about the different things that you've had and maybe some that are coming up.
Yeah, we do have murder mystery events and dinners usually. At this point, we do maybe 2 or 3 a year. And then we also have our tavern night. So for the murder mystery, it's also fun. We dress up for those too. Usually people will register. I'll send them their character in advance so they know what to wear. And it's really great. And then the tavern night is, again, set up like it's technically themed on D&D, but we don't actually play D&D there. So if you don't have any Dungeons and Dragons experience, you can still come and just enjoy basically a mini Ren Fair, and we'll have food. We've had turkey legs or meat pies and things like that. And so it's really fun. If you're not into dressing up, you can still come. We have people come in normal day clothes, but that's fine. But for some of us, it's a fun time to dress up.
It sounds like a lot of fun and a lot of things happening. When we come back, we're going to talk about upcoming events happening at the Guilded Grayland.
Honey, get me GI help for my belly.
Yeah, I need some GI help.
Not that kind of GI.
No wait. Appointments now for belly problems at Triad Complete Healthcare. Castor Key Tire and Alignment. Local, family-owned business with over 40 years of experience. Tires, alignments, front-end parts, and brakes installed. Check them out on Facebook. Castor Key Tire and Alignment. Stewart and Clover Attorneys and Title Company exists to help people. It really is that simple. Whether you have personal or business legal questions or need help navigating land title issues, Stewart and Clover is big enough to solve problems, small enough to care. We are with Angela Rowland of Guilded Grayland. And Angela, you guys have things happening all the time down there. And most of the time, if I'm wondering or I want to plan something down there, I can just go to your website and then I guide over to events. Is that right?
Yep.
And I can really look through some of that event. So I'm going to do that as a newbie here. I'm on your website and I'm looking at events and I see coming up, you have Shawnee Board Game Club on the 11th. What is the Shawnee Board Game Club?
That's every Thursday night. It's free to play in our store. So it's not like an official club. There's no membership required, but it's free to play from our library. And you can come and join a game that other groups are doing that, generally the club is, or you can just come on your own with your own friends and do your own thing. That's okay too. We're not going to make you engage if you don't want to. But yeah, it's just a great time to meet people in our community and play board games for free. And that's every Thursday night.
From what time to what time?
It's from 6:30 to 10. We close at 10 every weeknight. And then we actually have over the summer, we have what's called the Young Gamers Summer Board Game Club. Okay. And that will be Fridays from 1 to 4. And so it's basically the same thing for ages around like 10 to 15 is ideal, but we're a little bit flexible on that. And it's $10 a week and it's 3 hours of gameplay and we'll have games set up and ready to teach them. And so it's a great way for kids to connect over the summer and have something to do.
And that's from 1 to 4 p.m. every Friday?
Yeah. And that $10 also includes a snack and a drink every week. So.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah. And then, there's an older game. Is it still popular? I see happening on Saturday, the 13th, D&D, Shawnee D&D.
Yeah, we have Shawnee D&D is a community here in Shawnee that has several tables that run about twice a month. And so they have their own website and you can go register for a table there and then come join them in our space when they meet again, twice a month. They'll be in here. Yeah. And
it looks like Tuesday nights are Star Wars nights. Are we doing Star Wars?
We've got Star Wars Legion, so that's the big tabletop game. Again, they meet like the first and third Tuesdays, and then Warhammer is the second and fourth Tuesdays. But then on Monday nights, we've also got a Star Wars trading card game. It's called Star Wars Unlimited. So, yeah.
And so that would be kind of like what we talked about with trading cards. Is there's kind of games that spin off of that, and and then you trade for cards that you might like with people who are in the store at that time.
Yeah, I mean, generally you'll just play with your deck. The trading generally comes like if you need a particular card for your deck and someone else has what you need, you can trade for that. But there are also collectors who just want certain cards. But yeah, the majority of the time is just playing the game.
Well, it's really easy to navigate. I love that I can click on whatever the events are, and then it'll give me another board that gives me more in-depth information. And so anybody, if you want to get with your kids or your grandkids and learn something new about these games or pick something, I mean, that calendar is awesome.
Yeah.
But I know you spend a hard day's work putting together the in-store calendar too. You're kind of proud of that.
That's true. We've got a big whiteboard calendar. If you were to walk in, you'll also see that there. We try to, again, make our events really accessible so people know what we're doing.
Well, the Gilded Grayland is a special place in our community. I have enjoyed it a few times. I've been there with my one of my grandkids who's older already. Can you believe one of my grandchildren have now graduated from high school?
Wow.
I've got quite a gap between my grandkids.
I love that.
Angela, is there anything else that I haven't asked you about that you might like to share with the audience?
Not that I can think of. Again, we're open every day, Monday through Wednesday, 2 to 10. So we're open pretty late all weekdays. We're open until 10. Sunday's the only days that we're closed. And so it's a really good evening opportunity to just come and hang out and unwind after a long day.
Well, and it's families who have put this together, and it's a family passion to build community through board games locally. So, Angela Rowland, thank you for taking time with us to talk and to talk about your passion and your business, the Gilded Grayland.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. This is another edition of Community Creates Downtown Success. And today we were privileged to have Angela Rowland from the Gilded Grayland as our guest. See you, everybody. Thank you for tuning in.